Are you getting ready to go to a cat photography session? Wait and watch this video first because I have 10 things going to help prep you and your clients and your kitty cats for a smooth session. So preparation for photo sessions is super important, and cats have very specific things they need to prepare them for a photo session. If you're interested in what I do to prep for dog sessions, check out the link somewhere here. But cats have a few different things, and I really emphasize this because I really want all of my clients and their pets to come away thinking that was a fun time, and it wasn't stressful. They got treats, they got loves, they got toys, they played with them. I want really this to be the best day ever. And cats are their whole own thing. And so most of the time I photograph cats at their home. I have some that I photographed here in the studio. You've probably seen videos on this channel about that. But here are some things that I do to get ready for a cat session to make sure it's a good time, to prep everyone involved. Cats really require a quieter environment. They don't like the chaos that dogs can handle at their photo sessions. So typically I say the fewer people, the better, and the quieter the environment, the better. And this includes in their home. So if they have a lot of people in their family, maybe a lot of the people can stay quiet in another room. I often have my assistant Frank there, and he is very, very good with cats. Love that. And so he always knows to stay quiet and kind of a low energy. We don't have a lot of noises going on, things like that. Cats like quiet on the set. Another really important thing for prepping cat sessions is to ask your clients to not change anything in their house the day before. So don't rearrange the furniture, don't vacuum, don't do a lot of stuff out of the ordinary. Keep your regular schedule. And a kind of a bonus tip for that is to potentially get a diffuser like the Feel Away that really helps calm cats. We did this when we moved my daughter's cat across the country. We put some diffuser in her little carrier from Feel Away, and I think that helped a lot. So consider recommending that to the clients as well. Kind of along that same line is try not to have contractors over the day before or the same day. I did have this happen with a client where we were all set to photograph her, I want to say 4 cats and a dog, and that day her hot water heater broke and they had to have a contractor over. I said, we need to do this a different day. And they said, oh, well, the contractor's leaving now. I said, that's been too much stress for you kitties. I think we need to do it a different day. And so they agreed, and we did it another day, and they were so thankful. They're like, yeah, that would have been way too much stress for my kitties. So this is for contractors, this is for having guests over. Try not to schedule cat photo sessions when anything else is out of the ordinary going on at their home with people as well. For cats, you want to have some tissues on hand and ask the owner to kind of look through if they're long-haired, any mats. So sometimes you can get those little packets of individually wrapped little combs, or ask your client to have one of theirs on hand just in case they see a little mat somewhere and can easily take it out without stressing them out. And also the little eye tears and eye boogies. Cat just throws a lot. Most cats have those, and it's a lot of work to go back and edit those if you have quite a few. So if the cat will tolerate it, ask the client to kind of wipe those away a little bit with a little tissue or something that they have at their home, or something you might have that's clean at the studio. They'll save you a lot. For cats, I find limiting handling is essential, unless it's a cat that really loves to be handled. A lot of times I've found that my clients' cats aren't used to be handled at all. So they kind of are independent and they do their thing. And so if I'm trying to pose the person with the cat, or having the person put the cat up on a piece of furniture or my little posing table, will the cat tolerate that at all? So this is part of your pre-session consultation that you need to talk to them about. How does your cat do with handling? But even at that, the less handling, the better. With cats, you really just want to kind of entice them into the space as if it was their idea. So whatever you can do to get them in that space, then they're not going to be as freaked out and they're going to want to stay in that space a little bit longer. So we're about halfway through this list, and you'll probably have noticed that a lot of this is things that I relay to the client. Please have these things ready. And if you're wondering how to implement some of this into communication with your clients, I have got you covered. There is a link in the description below for a free list. This is all typed out for you that you can just copy and put it in your client prep email. So when you send them their confirmation for their session, you can also say, here's 10 things that you need to do to prep your cat for a smooth photo session. Some that even aren't in this video because they specifically need the client to do it. So make sure you check that out. And hey, while you're down there, maybe boop the like button. Yeah, thank you. All right. Another tip is to choose the best time of day for the cat. And cats are like anyone else. They have a routine for their day. Sometimes they're up and playful in the morning. Sometimes, nope, that's just when they're sleeping and they're playful in the evening or midday. And older cats or ill cats especially, you want to find that out because you don't want to just wake them up out of a deep sleep. That's very disorienting for kitties. So try to find the best time of day for the cats, for their activity level, for their health, all those kinds of things. So kind of a lot of times I build these sessions around the cats more than the people because they're usually willing to get up extra early if that's when it's best for their kitties. So first we've picked the best time for the cat and then we pick the best time for the client. Yeah. Another tip is to give the session a little bit extra time and space. So sometimes what happens is you might do a consultation with them and they're fine, and then you come back even just with minimal equipment and they're like, hold up, you're not the same person. You have this whole extra arm. I'm not so sure about that giant eye looking at me. You know, so it takes them a minute to get used to things. So at cat sessions, I give a little bit more time in case I need to just sit quietly on the couch and wait for them to assess the situation. This I've had to do if a cat is hiding. I'll just sit quietly on the couch and make no noise for as long as it takes until they walk out. Having a long lens, especially a fast one like a 2.8, is so helpful in those situations. If a cat might be a little bit shy and you're waiting for them and you can stay really still and photograph them across the room, that really works out well. So give your cat sessions a little bit more time and a little bit more space. Some cats are actually treat and food motivated. Not all of them. You'll have to talk to the people and find out. But it's the same kind of thing I do with dogs. And I say, if it's medically okay, they're not relying on food, like diabetic cats, things like that, withhold part of the previous meal. So they're really enticed for these treats. So if you have a cat that's treat motivated, and everybody knows, then see what they can do to withhold part of their food, and then they'll be extra happy to come into the area that you want them to be for photos. Another one is safety first. Now, if you're going to photograph a cat outside, there are collars, harnesses, and leashes for cats. So definitely ask your clients to do that to see if their cat would even tolerate that. Every once in a while, there's someone who has maybe an older cat that they know isn't going to go anywhere in their backyard, but absolutely make sure that is on their prerogative. You didn't suggest that. That is a safety issue to me. So you have to make sure that the client has said, oh yeah, they're not going to go anywhere. It's going to be fine in the backyard, off leash. Otherwise, yes, get a leash or a harness and walk them gently wherever you're at. Same thing applies inside though, because I have my photography table. You've probably seen the video on how to make that, and it's off the ground, at least, 3 feet. And I'd never want a cat to just fall off or jump off anything that I entice them to, even their cat tree or the couches, anyone they're used to. Just make sure that if they jumped, where they're going to go, or watch for the signs of them wanting to leave that space and help them leave safely. We definitely want to consider safety first for kitties. A bonus tip in here is to prep your clients for what's going to happen when you get there. So even though I said don't rearrange furniture, you might need to move the coffee table or just nudge something out of the way. So if you've seen their environment, you can ask them to do that ahead of time so the cat doesn't freak out, but also let them know how long is a session going to take? What are they expected to do? And then you can tell them too, like, I'm relying on you to give me the feedback of when you feel like your cat might be getting a little bit stressed. And we know a lot from body language of kitties, but I rely on the owner to tell me when to call it, whether it's a certain part of the session or the whole session. So let your clients know how they're involved. And oftentimes I have them right there next to the cat and they're just out of frame. So maybe they're sitting here and the cat's here and the cat's very comfortable. So where do you want your clients during the session? They don't know any of this and they often look puzzled when I walk into their house. So this is part of the conversation I have either right when I get there or in that planning meeting consultation ahead of time. And then the last one. Breathe. Your animals can feel your anxiety, you being unsure, you being not prepared. So you want to make sure that you sit for a minute in your studio or in your car, let go of the stress of anything that you had that day already, traffic or emails or anything like that. And you're going to walk into this just completely centered on this session, all the way there. And everybody there will feel that. They'll feel your calmness, they'll feel your confidence that comes with that. They'll know how much you've prepped and your skill level, and you can walk in and have that demeanor that everyone feels relaxed in. So that can make or break a session, honestly. That last few moments you take before you walk in, and then honestly, your presence throughout the whole thing. Cats, again, are very different from dogs. Dogs, I tell people to match energy. Cats, I kind of always want it to be a little bit calm. And so make sure everything you do once you get in there is nice and slow and calm and a little bit quieter. I tend to get all riled up. I try to tell myself to tone down, and part of that is just those few moments before you go into the session. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. Now, if you want to see my video on how to prep for a dog session, we've got this right here. And if you want to see a video about what to do once you're there to attract the attention of the cat to get them to look towards the camera, I've got a whole list of things I do at a session for attention grabbing for cats too. So watch that video next. And as always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs.